for the average person who's hearing Web3 and this talk about crypto and NFTs, what's the most important thing for them to understand about this?
We're in an interesting phase where at this point, I think this technology is poised to completely change the way that we coordinate with each other as human beings. But I also believe that as this technology matures and evolves, it will be abstracted away so that the average user won't even know that the plumbing underneath the internet that they're depending on has been completely refactored. We all drive cars. A lot of them are still powered by internal combustion engines, but you can drive your car down to the grocery store without needing to know how an internal combustion engine works, what a spark plug is. All you really need to know as the operator of that vehicle is where's the gas pedal, where's the brake, and how do I steer? And I think right now in Web3, the amount of technical knowledge that's required to participate in the ecosystem is extraordinary. And so it's the equivalent of needing to basically be able to, overhaul the engine yourself as you're driving the car to the grocery store. That is current state of Web3 for end users. But the meaningful things that will change is that participants on platforms and in systems will have the ability to have skin in the game. So I'll give an example of something that's transformed society pretty formidably over the past several years, and that's the gig economy. So it started with Uber, and then Lyft, and then Airbnb, and we see it now with Grubhub and Uber Eats and all these companies that are putting people to work, hustling around, taking us places and bringing us food. And the companies that built these systems have almost no assets on their balance sheet. They have almost no employees on the balance sheet. And yet they are billion-dollar companies. How is that? How is it that they're extracting that much value from the ecosystem? And meanwhile, the drivers that, however many years ago when Uber got started, they said, what is this Uber thing? Should I go try that? Those drivers, they're no better off today than they were that day 10 years ago when they started driving. Maybe they're hand to mouth, right? They don't have benefits. They took a chance on Travis's enterprise that this thing was going to work, and they drove people to the bar in their Prius or whatever, but they did not receive any equity compensation. They didn't get a W-2 paycheck. So I believe with strong conviction that the future platforms that define the gig economy and whatever comes after that, through Web3, will provide a mechanism by which early adopters and early contributors to the ecosystem will be able to accrue value in that ecosystem. So the corollary here is that an Uber driver in a Web3 world would start earning tokens, the Uber governance token, if you will, for every ride that they delivered. And the people that were earlier into the ecosystem would get more. And then when key decisions needed to be made, like should we provide healthcare and like disability and retirement for these drivers, people that hold the governance token would be able to opine on that. Similar to the way that shareholders in public companies do today. So this is a construct that I think is going to meaningfully change the contours of the game for ordinary people into the future. Now, today, you can participate in a DAO, you can help make these kinds of decisions, but they require you to have specialized knowledge. They require you to know what is a crypto wallet, how do I generate my keys, what are these tokens, how do I get them, and it's a bar too far. But I think in the glorious future, which is much closer than we think, it will be possible for folks that are contributing value to get a share of the long-term impact of that value that they're creating over time.